friends, welcome back to my channel. Here we have a big pile of stuff. I was trying to get some use out of all of it, but unfortunately there's things I'm not going to be using, like those wood slats, the little girl, the fabric, and the greenery I don't think I used, and a couple of the ribbons I didn't use either. The wreath form wouldn't have been strong enough to hold her because she was a little bit heavy. But we have some pumpkins from Dollar Tree, some leftover ones. Ribbon from Hobby Lobby. I used that striped denim one, that brown check one. I didn't use the blue buffalo check, the orange check, or that sunflower one that you see there. I didn't end up using those flowers either. So you'll see as we go along on what I actually got to use out of all of that. So I hope you enjoy the videos. Let's get started. Okay, so we have some mesh from Hobby Lobby. We have the one that I used before, that orange check mesh, and the tan 10-inch mesh. Both those came from Hobby Lobby. Those are really good colors. This came from Hobby Lobby too, but it was in the Christmas ribbon. So I thought it was a very, very pretty ribbon. Some rope. I didn't end up using that either. Or that. That was to paint the wood slat and it didn't happen. Or that. But okay. You get the point. So I did use some of this. Okay, so we have our mat ready, dirty mat ready. This thing has been through everything. It has hot glue stuck to it, paint, all kinds of stuff. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and open the ribbon, and I cut this roll of ribbon at, I believe, 12 inches. Okay, I'm sorry, no, 10 inches. So I cut the roll at 10 inches, and I also dovetail them, which I'll show you here in a bit. So I just measure out 10 inches, and then I put the ribbon on top of another slice and just trim it where the 10 inches. So right there, and snip. So here I'm going to do the same exact thing with the green ribbon. Just open it up, measure. I think this one I ended up measuring 24 inches, and that one went a little bit. I think that one went at 12. Let's see. I'm not sure. This is days later. This took me a very long time to make. A lot of things happened. A lot of family things have happened. Okay, so no, that's at 20 inches, and then I go and I cut it in half, and I cut the roll, majority of that roll of ribbon. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so here we're going to be cutting the mesh, and this one I'm cutting at 24, but I do go and I only cut them into 12-inch squares. So I do go back and do that. And I do use the entire roll of this mesh, and I do use the entire roll of the orange check 5.5-inch mesh as well. Okay, and so the orange check mesh, we're only cutting at 10 inches. And like I said, we do use that entire roll. Okay, you see here I'm cutting the other ribbon. I don't know why I lose so much footage. Maybe I'm not pressing record. I have no idea. But anyway, this thicker ribbon, this wider ribbon, we're cutting at 12 inches, so it could give it like, it could pop out a little bit more. Okay, and here I'm showing you where I'm going to dovetail. What I do is I just fold it in half. You see my hands are pink and purple. My daughter had me dye her hair and it was a mess. So, okay, so I fold it in half and then I go from the corner there and I cut up at a slant. Okay, and snip. Okay, and then you open it up and boom, you have your dovetail. And I did that to all of my ribbon. And, yeah, I did end up using that whole roll of the brown and orange check ribbon. Okay, and here we ended up using the 18-inch wreath form instead of the 14-inch one. There you are, wreath ring. I keep calling it a form. To me, it's a form. I don't know. But anyway, at the crossbar, I'm putting a pipe cleaner all the way on each of the crossbars, and then I'll be going in the middle of the crossbars and placing one all the way around. And you can see there. So one at each crossbar, and then I go on the inside and place another one. But that's not all of the pipe cleaners we're going to use. You see I have some off there, off to the side. You'll see what I do with those. So now I'm just going to get my mesh, and I'm just going to pinch it and walk my fingers up until you have what looks like butterfly wings or a big bow tie. And then we're just going to get this folded in half to find the center, and then we're just going to pinch that together, just like that. And then get our other ribbon, which I think it's the green one. Yes, it's the green ribbon. And do the same thing, find your center, pinch it, put it in between your fingers, and then we're going to do the same thing with the cream color and denim ribbon. Just fold it just like that. Just find your center, open it up, pinch it, and place it in between your fingers. And then that is what we're going to attach to the wreath ring. And that's going to be our first bundle. And we're just going to make that exact same thing all the way around the wreath. So you have one place there, and then we're just going to go to the next one and the next one, and then just fill in all the pipe cleaners with that. Okay, and I want to show you again, I know I showed you in my last video, another way of doing your ribbon too, and you get use out of that little empty mesh holder. You fold it over on itself once, and then you pull that out, and it makes the perfect woodland ruffle. It's usually helpful if you have a clip, so you can clip that side there, and then get your tube, and then do the same thing on the other side. It's much easier that way. It just takes a little bit more time, and I just want to show you real quick. See, there you go, and then you pinch and walk your fingers up, and then you have a woodland ruffle. Or cruffle. There's some people call it different names, so. And then we're going to get this one, and we're going to make another one. So curl one side just over on itself, turn it around, do the same thing on the other side. Place it in between your fingers. And here, I'm sorry, I was talking to my best friend, and yeah, we talked the entire time. It was so fun. Okay, so you get your pipe cleaner, fold it in half, and then snip it so you can have more pipe cleaner. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to fold it into a U after that. And I'll show you here. I'm sorry. I get out of the frame a lot, so I do apologize. I'll get it one day. I'll get it one day. But here we go. Just fold it into like a little U and then place it just over the mesh, just like that. And then pull your mesh down and tighten the two ends at the back. And give it a good few twists. And then you're going to attach that into the holes, like any holes that you see in your wreath. So you'll see here, I'll put this down, I'll grab the wreath. There you go. And grab that thing, where is it? Okay, here we go. There you are. And you see, like, it's a big wreath form, and I haven't worked with one of these in a long time, and I've never recorded doing one of these, so yeah, you just find any holes and you put the remaining mesh in there, your remaining bundles, and it comes out so gorgeous, so beautiful, nice and full. And then you see how clean it is in the back. You just twist them and then you fold them under, so that way it doesn't look messy. Okay, and here I made this bow. I can't do a tutorial on it because I always make them different. It takes a long time. I really struggle with bows. I need to get me a bow maker is what I need to get. But yeah, maybe one day I'll show you how I just kind of put one together. But you just see that I'm going through my mesh there, and I'm just going to attach that bow right down to the bottom. You just fiddle with the mesh, find openings, and then just attach it to the wreath form. Yeah, and there it is. You can kind of see my zip tie, so if, like I said, I struggle with it. But I'm pulling it through and then just going to twist those two together, and that's how you attach it. It's really easy. Okay, here you'll see that I'm putting my flowers in place. Now those I got from Walmart. I just zip tied them, and I end up cutting off the bottoms of them. But I'm just putting one bundle of roses, one stem onto either side of the bow. I'm just going to put it through, and then I'm going to hot glue it down. So one on each side of the wreath. Okay, you see me there. And I just get that whole entire leaf and press it down. It's going to have plenty to grab onto. It may not seem like it, but let me tell you, that Gorilla Glue is great. Those stems are not going to go anywhere. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing to the top. I'm going to get two stems and point them slantways and then glue them on as well. Okay, and with magic, 1, 2, 3, boom, they're glued. Now this welcome sign, I had made it when I was back at my sister's house, and I just went and put some white and orange dots on it. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the method I've been using to attach my signs onto my wreaths, which is 2 pipe cleaners, full length. Fold them in half and kind of square them at the bottom and hot glue them to the back of your sign until it sets. I usually add a piece of ribbon, so you kind of like square it off there and then glue it. And I usually use a piece of ribbon or cloth or rag, fabric, something to hold it down to give it a little bit more stability. So I go ahead and do that, I think on the W and then one on the E. I'm just trying to find my placement here. Alright, I think I got it there. Okay, yeah, it was right there in the, off to the side of the W. I'm going to put a blob of glue, place my pipe cleaner down, and then put more glue in a piece of fabric there. Sorry, I keep going out of the frame. I don't know why I did that, but in my other video, you'll see as well if you don't. Yeah, you can kind of see what I did there. So do you see how it's shaped? That really helps. It may not look like it, but it really does help. Alright, some more glue. Just a little bit more glue on the top just to cover it. And then you'll see how unorganized I am because I'm looking for a piece of fabric. And I can't find one, so I end up using ribbon. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side down by the E. And then after it sets up, I go ahead and do the same thing. Attach it the same way I did the bow. And yeah, it's really pretty easy. It looks hard, but it's really easy, I promise. Okay, I'm going to show you again just so you can get it. So I kind of square it off on the bottom. Sometimes I go out of frame and then my huge nails, you can't see really much. But I just did the same thing I did on the W. And it's as simple as that. You just gotta wait till it sets up so that way you can attach it to your wreath. Okay, it's all set up now, and just move your mesh around. I've shown this before. Just move your mesh around and get it on there and turn it around and tighten it. So here I'm hot gluing the pumpkins, and we're going to put those right in the middle of the flowers there on the top. See, right? So, but first we got to glue all the pumpkins together. You'll see.